in Atlantis, and because once they sink, they can solve any
Mm.
problem because they in every walk of life.
Right.
So now they can draw from every walk of life to bear upon a single problem. And it gives them so much overwhelming information to solve the problem that it is simple.
So it's like we're helping Earth shed, helping her shed,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Okay. Right.
So we facilitators of the process they call evolution, but the Darwinian model is just the wrong interpretation of the model of evolution. The women's mitochondria will upgrade the codes that's on the codons of the DNA. And when she does that, the species of hominids change.
Mm.
We, our bodies begin to look different. Our physiology begin to take a new form. So we don't look like Neanderthals or Cro-Magnon man. We look like modern man, right? Which is distinctly different from any other Australoids they've excavated to this point. Because the mothers, we live out a certain period of time under a set code. This is why the future is wrote in advance as the history.
Mm-hmm.
So Elijah Muhammad say every 24,000 years, the 24 scientists convene to write the history of the next cycle.
Right.
So they always write history in advance because they lay the script out, then you play the script out. You can't play the script out if there's no script to play. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Right.
everybody write their book of life and contribute to the script in order to give it substance, right? So when you look around in the world, you're seeing all of these people are seeing everything we looking at from a different angle than we seeing it. How many people can you count? That's how many different directions can be bared upon one topic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now,
Right.
when you use your holographic memory, you able to see the world from everybody's perspective that you see looking at the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
now you can see what everybody else see, and then you can add it to what you already see. You have more information for decision making than you would if we would have only relied on what you see
Right.
alone. That's the only reason why we read, to learn different perspectives, and it's weightlifting for the brain. It's
Mm-hmm.
physical fitness for the brain.
Hmm.
Otherwise, we wouldn't need it,
Right. Right.
right? So it's exercise for intelligence to become more intelligent, and it allows us to use the holographic paradigm in order to see every problem from so many angles that we automatically got to find the solution. Because we already know
Right.
that the solution to the problem is always in the problem itself. It's just how
Mm-hmm.
you look at it that determine if you could see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, sweetie, it's been good talking to you. I thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
coming up, gracing us with your beautiful presence.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me once again, and thank you for everything that you do and how you just serve. You serve all of us, and you serve the purpose. So I thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. All right, I'm gonna let somebody else come up now, okay?
Alrighty, peace.
I'll bring my sister up, the high priestess, see what she's doing. Christina, you better not be then left. Shit, I think Instagram stopped me from taking up guests. Let me look up here and see what this is. Okay, she wasn't there. Damon Dim 2050, what up, Chief? You right, Drakaru, Doctor Haru. Yeah, breaking out of the illusion. Okay, I got one more person there I can invite up, and if this one don't work, I'm gonna bid y'all adieu for the day. And Mac Man 144. Look, that stuff so scattered. You just have to read everything you can about the 105 facts about the American Indian. I think is a good one. Um, it's a book called, I think it's called When the Indians Were Black or something like that. It's a lot of books. I put a lot of references all through my posts up and down my page. Some of my posts is just book references. Those are down further in the post where it's just got a lot of good books. But if you want a good resource, go to YouTube and check out Karimu Ahu on YouTube, and he got the books. He be reading them to show you what he's saying, and he got video upon video, hundreds of hours of him reading the academic materials that verify almost all the stuff that we be talking about. We just using it in real time to roll out the new government, and we at the grand finale now. So it should take only a couple more weeks for this shit to play out. But I can't tell you what it's gonna look like or how we gonna get notified. I knew that one of the things is that those CIA assets that was news reporters will be replaced by truthers. Yeah. Okay. I got one. Somebody just popped up. The last three people I tried to let in didn't come in, but this is a new person, so this they probably got tired of waiting and left the show. But Blue,
What's good? What's good?
mm,
So,
what's going on with you? Might as well chop the game up. You the last one. When I hang up with you, I'm going to sleep.
no doubt. I just wanted to pay my respects. I've been watching for a minute. I never really got a chance to request because I always catch you like on YouTube and all that. But somehow this time I got the notification that you was live today.
Yeah. So, what you think? You've been watching the work we've been doing?
Definitely, definitely been watching you for a few years now. Definitely been sending the links to people who I know will receive the information, or who I would hope to receive the information. So I had a couple women that I know who've been planning on having children, like sign up to your services. Then you got like a doula services and all of that. So I appreciate that. Because we kind of need help in that area. Um, and then all of the information about all the alignments that's been going on. Just staying tuned in. Just staying tuned in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of stuff going on, especially with the solar radiation from the solar storms. That's where all
Right.
of the data coming in for the source codes.
Right. I noticed there's a lot of like it's been a shift. I noticed like specifically since the pandemic, it's been a shift, and I feel like that's like um I remember like even before the pandemic, I felt like a shift, but I felt like the pandemic was a big frequency change. Like a lot of things began to change during that time, and I felt like the pandemic was kind of like the quote unquote like what they call the pandemic was kind of like a distraction for the fact that there was a lot of new downloads coming, and they wanted to distract certain people, but I don't even think it worked because people who needed to transition. People who needed to upgrade it during that time.
Well, that's one of the reasons why everything was shut down. When everything was shut down, people got bored, and people who didn't normally look at like social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, started looking at it,
Type.
right? And now, while people like me, B-Dale, Yaki Awaken, Brother Kalai, while we are talking about what we're talking about, it's forcing people that wouldn't have normally looked at their social media to see us popping up in their feed now. And
That's a fact.
then,
I used to post a lot, like prior to the pandemic, and then like with the pandemic happening, I started to slow down on posting and like dove a little deep into the information that was out there, even though I was already tapped into information prior to that. But like during the pandemic, it kind of like forced me to like really do way more research. I started to go from like reading like 14 books a year to like 40 books a year. I was able to like tap in a little more deeper during that time.
yeah, it's just because everything is quiet. Look, when the witching hour happens at night, that's the quietest time of the night, between 3 a.m. and 4 or 5 a.m. But the witching hours from 3 to 6. But during that period, your psychic energy, when you harnessed it and you've been exercising your aura, is so powerful. You can make stuff happen and it look like magic, but it's science,
Do you think that
spirit
uh,
science.
you think that the time zones matter when it comes to that? Like if somebody on the West Coast compared to somebody on the East Coast, specific timing, Eastern Standard Time.
In the time zone, it just changes when you do your ritual in relation to somebody in New York if you in LA.
Okay.
But harnessing the energy is universal. You can harness energy wherever you at in the known or unknown universe. It's just have you trained yourself to be strong enough to use the energy that you harness. Because if you're not strong enough, you won't be able to harness enough in order for you to use it to effect.
Type. A random question that just came to mind. Like, what you think about like tantra and like healing with your partner? Like, if I'm a man, I want to heal with my woman, or the other way around, a woman wants to heal with her man tantrically.
You mean like tantric sex?
Yeah, tantric sex, or maybe even like just Reiki, like without having like sexual intercourse.
Well, when you feel like you one with your old lady, it's so much shit y'all can do together to produce effect in the world. The manifestation that they call the secret, right? When you got a female and a male, y'all two batteries going in a remote control. You got you could create a circuit. You cycle the psychic impression through the circuit by counting the circuit itself. You have to use your imagination and visualize in your mind that whatever it is you trying to bring into reality is in this loop, right? How you make the loop. You sit, if you can, sit in lotus position. But if you can't, you can sit in a chair. If because some guys' knees from being athletic, especially in this era, a lot of our knees is bad. We can't sit in lotus position, but we could sit on a chair or a cushion, right? She said, you penetrate, then you take your tongue and put it in the roof of her mouth. You just made the circuit complete, right? And you, she's the one who's the manifester. You the one have to hold the focus in the now. Because whatever y'all agreed upon, she's cycling it through the circuit, right? You use something simple as a tester. You write on a piece of paper something simple. I'm gonna find a $5 bill, but this $5 bill gonna have 222 in the serial number, and it's gonna be so obvious I won't be able to miss it. Right now, once you write that down, that's what she's circulating in her mind. She's seeing the $5 bill and she's seeing the 222 on the serial number, right? She don't have to see the rest of the serial number, just the 222. This is just going how it's going to get your attention, because how she see it is going to draw out to you in real life, right? So now that y'all have something, when you finally find the $5 that got your attention with the 222 on it, you can mark the time y'all done the act and the time you found the $5. That's called your turnaround time. Now, remember, the turnaround time changes the bigger the object you trying to manifest. And you have to take steps in the physical world toward the manifestation you're trying to produce. Right? If you're trying to manifest a house, but you keep looking for apartments, you're working against yourself.
Mm.
But if you're trying to manifest a house, look at the house that you would be able to live in without ever wanting to go anywhere, as long as you was with her. Maybe we could do everything right here in the house. We ain't got to fuck with the outside world. It don't mean that y'all not gonna fuck with the outside world. It means that the level of peace and comfort that the environment you're looking for gives you, make it where it's not necessary for you to ever leave the house to experience that peace and that solitude and that love energy.
Okay. So like if so pretty much you could start off with something as simple as a $5 bill, work up to a house, maybe even like um work on things like healing from childhood trauma, um, you know, pretty much kind of like take not like making sex a little organized, but kind of taking a little more serious and just pleasure. Meaning like maybe before y'all do things, y'all
The
have
pleasure is the key.
okay.
The pleasure is the key. That's the unlocking of the spiritual energy into the physical world. Because that's why you think you feel the pleasure, because it's activating the body. The body already in the physical. You trying to transfer spiritual energy into the physical realm. You trapping it in the pleasure.
Okay, so pretty much
Enjoy the
we
fuck
already
out
halfway
that
there.
shit. Listen, enjoy the fuck out that shit while y'all stroking. Both of y'all. Right? The more you enjoy it, the more powerful it is when you use it for manifestation. Practice makes perfect. Remember that.
Okay. So we already halfway there. We just gotta point that pleasure into the right direction, is what you're saying.
Yeah. The $5 is what you call a controlled experiment. The reason why you only pick the $5 because it's the easier for the universe to get it to you. Get it?
I
So it's
got
your test run. It's your frame of reference for how it works and how long it takes. But it
I
don't have
got
to be that. You could put it whatever you want. You can make it be a red ball with a thumbtack in whatever. But it
no.
got to be something that when you see it, it is pronounced and it's something small, right? The reason you want something small, because spirit can move little things faster than it can big things, because it has to move more things into an alignment for the big thing than it do for the little thing to align. So you could be walking out the house to go to the store, and the dude at the store is cashing the lottery ticket and drop a $5 bill with 222 on it.
Type.
You just so happen to walk into the store after he done left and been gone